bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
And welcome back. We do apologize. We had a power situation here in Grand Bahama, but we'll do what we got to do. Here we go. The wrap-up series of local government. Some 20 years later, former Chief Counsel of Freeport Council, that is Kevin Ferguson, believes that local government is not meeting its full potential and there's more work to be done. Let's go to Cleopatra Murphy.
Years after local government was implemented in the Bahamas, former chief counselor for the city of Freeport Council, Kevin Ferguson, says he does not believe any government takes local government as serious as it should. Ferguson says the Bahamas Association of Local Government Authorities have for years been trying to set up a constitution but have gotten nowhere.
I was deeply involved in Balga because some of the districts, in my opinion, lack the proper funding in most cases, and in other cases lack the knowledge and understanding of what it is that they are supposed to be doing.
Ferguson says local government is underfunded, but with the little district councils get, they should be responsible with their spending and be able to affect change in their communities. It is an area he believes some at times fall short.
If it's one thing I believe a district council ought to do, is to maintain cleanliness in the district. If you don't get enough money to do nothing, the fact that we are considered a tourist nation, your district ought to be clean.
When he became chief counselor in 2008, Ferguson's focus was on youth. He instituted a deportment award for students and a $5,000 grant to encourage school faculty to go above and beyond to ensure that more young men graduate. Weighing in on local government in the Bahamas presently, Ferguson says it must catch up with other countries.
They basically affect laws and changes and policies. We don't do that as yet, and that's one of the reasons why I ran the third time, because I thought that we would have been able to bring about true local governance.
As local government celebrates 20 years, Ferguson encourages aspiring practitioners to offer themselves only if they love serving the public. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
In other news for you, participants in the police summer camp also getting a lesson today about water safety. The youngsters were taken on the high seas, and our Megan Shepard went along for the ride.
Participants certificates.
The Eastern Division campers taken to the high seas, but not before learning some key facts about water safety. Assistant Superintendent of Police Doyle Burrows noting that during the summer months, students will spend more time swimming, and it is critical that they are aware of the do's and don'ts while in the water.
One of the basic things we tell the persons, even if you're a good swimmer, always go in the water along with the next person. So always have a friend when you're going in the water. We introduce them to different types of life vests that can assist them with flotation once they're in the water. And so we want to encourage parents to purchase for their children a personal flotation device that can assist them if they go out in deep water and they get in trouble. The vest can keep them afloat.
The campers were also reminded that they should always tell someone when they are going into the water and where they are going. The camp has been going on for some 3 weeks now, and campers say in addition to today's lesson, the camp has been fun and informative.
The camp has been marvelous thus far. I am very sad that we only have 1 week left. It has truly been a learning experience with policing and life in general. We met a lot of new people. We learned a lot of new things.
Today we learned some new stuff about safety with the water, what you do when you're in certain situations. And this could really help me because I like going in the water. But I didn't know some of these stuff, so it's a new experience.
The camp was good, and I learned water safety. and to always keep a life vest on.
Supervisor of the Eastern Camp, Corporal Lamardo Bo, says they aim to teach the students valuable life lessons.
Next week, we also have some interesting stuff that will be coming up. We expect to have them visit the magistrate court, where they can actually sit with the magistrate and learn a little bit of stuff about the law. We expect to have the dog section come, the canines come and visit them. We expect to have traffic come and visit them. And we're also giving back, where they're going to be doing a beach cleanup and they're going to be doing a donation to a charitable organization. So we also want to teach them, in addition to all the blessings that they have, that they must also give back.
Approximately 25 children attend the Eastern Camp. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Another news for you. First Wine Arts and the Summer Jazz Festival are being dubbed a huge success. The event held under the Ministry of Tourism bringing together community members for the Night of Fine Arts and also under the stars. Jazz artist that is Shelley Carey Moxie says those in attendance had a fabulous evening and every aspect of it, and it went well.
Well, the feedback has been great. I guess if I was one of those persons where your head would be out there by the walls, then it would have been, because everybody that came had a really good experience, and that was one of my main objectives, that everybody that came enjoyed themselves and got the feel of what I wanted them to get with wine, art, and jazz. The combination is always fantastic.
Well, part proceeds are donated to a local charity, and Moxie is thanking all of those who supported the event.
What's next? We're going to do it again. We're probably going to choose when it's not as humid as it is. We've been experiencing some serious weather, almost like a heat wave. But we will choose wisely, and we've learned a lot of little lessons through doing this first one, and the next one's going to be even better. I just want to say thank you to everybody, this entire community. We've got a community of jazz lovers right here in the Bahamas, believe it or not, because sometimes we think it's only calypso, and I always say that, but hey, we've got folks here in the Bahamas that have that wonderful talent of jazz or a love for it, and there are a lot of people that have a passion for jazz, and hey, we're going to be catering to you.
Well, some Bahamians call it a pinched nerve, but as known as sciatica, which is an unbelievable pain that goes down the leg from the lower back. Our Talia Hall spoke to a local physician who is giving some advice for those who have to deal with this condition.
Sciatica is a nerve condition usually found among the elderly. Sciatica symptoms include nerve pain, numbness, tingling, and weakness. The pain can usually be felt in the buttock or in the back of the thighs down to the calf or even into the toes. Physician Dr. Rupert Moss outlined some of the health issues that contribute to this painful condition among men and women.
Most men get a punched belly, rum belly we call it, and they put on weight. A lot of women, after having children, they put on weight. And so the additional weight, as you can see, will be putting pressure on this soft area of cartilage, which will cause it to gravitate backward.
The doctor says that women who have children should act now to prevent this problem before it's too late.
During each pregnancy, you exercise, you watch your diet, you limit how much weight you put on every month. There is an indication that, oh, I should eat, and oh, this is the baby hungry, let's eat. And then by the time you've had the baby, you're 40 pounds overweight.
Dr. Rupai says there are several methods, including an incline, that can help persons who are currently experiencing the pain, and surgery is not required.
We increase the angle, and that will open the space physically. So people who rush off to get surgery, that's not necessary. Losing the weight, getting proper exercise, and opening the space. There are other simple things you can do. When you sit down on the desk, don't put your foot flat. Get a small ottoman and raise your legs. That'll open the space.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now it's time to ask the doctor.
Hi and welcome. Recently I was asked a very important question about multiple sclerosis, also known as MS. So today we will continue our discussion of this interesting disorder. MS is an incurable disease that can cause progressive disability in those affected by it. The cause is unknown and is considered an autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system attacks its own tissues. Most people can have a relapsing remitting disease course. This means that they experience periods of new symptoms that we call relapses that develop over days or weeks. These relapses usually improve partially or completely. They are followed by quiet periods of disease remission that can last months or even years where the patient has no new symptoms. In the majority of patients, the disease advances over time and eventually they can develop a steady progression of symptoms with or without periods of remission, known as secondary progressive MS. This worsening of symptoms almost always involves problems with mobility and walking. A minority of persons with MS experience a gradual onset of steady progression of signs and symptoms without any relapses. This is known as primary progressive MS. So if you know someone with MS and you have questions, please email askthedrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
And don't forget to check out our store and the Spank Band at the second annual Secret Homecoming. That's going to be going on next week, Friday, the 29th through the 31st. Should be an awful lot of fun. We got to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in sports.